I'm aware that most of you have moved on to the reunion part one, but I have to do things in order. I've been done with the Real Housewives of Atlanta as far as reviewing the show. That's the reason why you did not get a review from me for the last two episodes, but I'm still receiving messages, and I'm like, you know what? It's only two episodes. You did the entire season, so just go ahead and do it. So I can't just skip to the reunion. I do have to give my opinion on the last two episodes. So what I'm doing is, this is the episode, this review right here is the episode before the finale, okay? Posting this, then in a few hours, I'm going to post the finale episode, my review, and then a few hours after that, I will be posting my review of the reunion part one. Then we'll be all caught up with all things Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then I have other little videos on the side that I want to post. So that's the deal. So thank you all for your patience, your love, and support. Let's get into the intro and into my review. This is the episode before the finale, and then I'm going to post the rest in that order. Okay, let's get into it. What's up, my Finna love? Sisters Finna D coming to you all from Finna Team News. I know how dare me get to the last two episodes and then don't review them. I'm still getting your DMs, so here I am. I know I'm extremely late, but yeah, I understand. I got you. I got down to the last two. Just go ahead and do it. So even though I'm late, most of you will still click and support anyways because you love my reviews and how detailed I am. So thank you so much for the love and support. I'm hoping to get this up before the reunion part one. This is going to be two parts. This episode, the episode before the finale, this is the review I'm doing now. And then I'm going to come back and do my review on the finale. Now, let's talk about it. Candy, restaurant, tasting, and all of that. This has absolutely nothing to do with Candy. It's about Bravo. But I just want Bravo to be fair, okay? You see all of the airtime and how detailed the producers are with Candy event and other people events and situations too. We got to not only see the restaurant, we got to see the food. It was amazing compared to we see 2 seconds of more hair care on the screen and then that's it. Or if we do have a moment where more hair care is being discussed, then next thing you know, it's switched to drama. The drama is so bad that it overpower the moment, So I'm just saying that Bravo just needs to be fair. That's all. However, kudos to Candy and her husband, Todd. It was everything. So I love it. Yes, Milo, once again, came in there. She apologized. I see that she's trying, but I don't understand why Milo keep dragging other people into the conversation. I don't know how the editing situation worked, but I just felt it was random, from apologizing about her behavior in New Orleans to pulling the same move. She asked Big Frida that question about she and Portia's situationship, because I won't call it a friendship anymore. And then she did the same exact thing with, Candy's auntie. So it's just like, girl, yes, I understand you care about Portia and all of that. And maybe Milo is just simply trying to get her peach, trying to, get in there and have a moment. But it's like, okay, why are you doing the same thing again? And then for Shamia to just randomly talk about the lipo, and then she wrote somewhere on social media that Milo said that she will, do something sexual with her husband, and that's why she said that. But so Shamia wrote on one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta fan pages on Instagram, "I don't give a bleep about this B word and her lipo. I only called Milo out because she came for me in New Orleans, which was edited out, and said she was gonna bleep my hubby. Everyone witnessed it. Otherwise, I could give a bleep about Lips Queen. That's not nice. Shimari, girl, your time came and went. One season, stop it. She responded, Lord, not Lips Queen, laughing face emojis. Go ahead and read the rest. How is someone saying they're going to do something with your husband? Your clapback is they had lipo? I mean, I understand Milo be going in on Kenya Moore body, her butt, and so maybe she may have felt like the fact that Milo keeps calling everyone else imperfections out and behaving like she's this natural person, her exposing that no, you're not snatch by yourself, you got help, supposed to be this big deal. But Milo said she had 3 lipos, this one being her 3rd. She said it before. For example, Milo talking about Kenya's mother, even though Milo herself didn't have her mother in her life due to substance abuse. Milo say things out of her mouth even though she's going through the same situation. So she's always projecting. Someone say they're going to do something to your husband, you shade them back with something related to what they're talking about. For the longest on this show, okay, one of the old recycled but biggest shade towards Milo is allegedly the fact that she sleeps with older men, older white men, older married men, whatever the case might be, right? That's what people normally shade Milo with. Shamia's husband is older. So Shamia clapping back with something like, well, I'm not surprised, Milo. That is like right in your element. Sleeping with married men, older married men. You know what I'm saying? Something along those lines would have made sense because she just said she's going to bleep your husband. You know she wouldn't get anywhere next to your husband. So hitting her back with, that's right up your alley. Sleeping with older married men. So you're just admitting that's what you do, going around destroying people's homes. Whatever the case, something like that would have made sense to me. Almost like she and Portia planned the whole thing. Is that supposed to be like a smoking gun? But it's 2021. What Milo said was edited out of the show. And if that's true, this is what I'm talking about. Because then the conversations and everything just look random. And people become confused. Like, where did that come from? Because it went from, I called you to see if your back was okay, Portia saying that, to Shamia, was it before you got lipo? And I'm just like, so shaming somebody about surgery and all of that, and then trying to hide behind, the woman who's always shaming people about their surgeries, but now she went and got lipo too. No, you are right there with Milo because you body shame people as well. Milo talking about Kenya butt all the time. Use her on your platform and drag Kenya looks and her body and her butt and all of that. So you are not any different, Portia. But anyways, I just felt like all of these different things being thrown into Candy opening. I understand, even though it was an opening for a restaurant, they were still there to do their job. This was not a special, okay, for Candy restaurant opening. It was still an episode within the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I completely understand the ladies having other conversations. Also, Kenya pulling Candy aside to let her know that Mark was in town, and the whole marriage discussion. You all know how I feel about it at this point. Whatever Kenya Moore chooses to do, I wish her the best, but I've been over the conversation, the back and forth. But I understand her pulling Candy aside. Now, Kenya Moore looked absolutely stunning in this jumpsuit, bodysuit, whatever it was. The color, just everything. Gorgeous woman. Love her entire look. And Portia acting like she doesn't care, but she does, and all of that. Eventually, Milo leaves, the restaurant and all of that. Cynthia Bailey talking about the food. I mean, she turned into Candy, because normally it's Candy talking about food and all of that, but I get it. It was her restaurant, so it was different this time. Cynthia Bailey and her husband Mike Hill moment of weighing themselves and throwing the scale in the trash, I thought was a little cute kiki moment, funny and all of that. So that was cute. Now, this whole thing with Drew and LaToya, people keep saying, I don't know why Candy and Kenya and other people are being hypocrites, and they want to talk about Portia and Bolo, but not LaToya and the Prophet. I'm going to get into details about that, but I always talk about common sense. LaToya, of course, the Prophet confirmed nothing happened. But before I get there, did LaToya allegedly sleep with a Prophet in the cast house while they were working, or did all of this happen off camera? I'm not saying anything happened. That's the difference. Allegedly, Portia did something in the cast house on a show called The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it's open season. It's open for discussion, because we're here to work, and you did something allegedly on the show in the cast house. Everything else that Drew is saying, nothing happened on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Drew at this point realized that Kenya Moore is completely 100% paying her dust, and that everything she's tried to have a moment with Kenya Moore so that she can have an issue and secure her peach, because they want to keep up with the Joneses and just bought that house. So they need this check to continue to come in so they can afford this new lifestyle in Atlanta. Is the reason for her desperation. Everything she tried in New Orleans, she was desperately trying to make Kenya so mad, and I'm glad that Kenya peeped what was going on and said, girl, you are not going to get this storyline from me. You are going to work for it. I'm not falling for that anymore. And I just wish and hope Kenya also start doing that with Portia as well. She doesn't give Portia the type of energy that Portia gives her anyways. Like when Kenya talk about Portia, she's joking, she's smiling, is, lighthearted, like, oh, Portia, whatever. Portia gives her the energy of, I really hate you. Like, it's hatred to the next level, whereas Kenya is just like, oh yeah, that's Portia. She's shown me who she is. I believe her. We good, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even if she makes fun shade or slight comments here and there, it's in a joking way compared to, like I said, the level of hate and all of that. So I'm glad that Kenya was like, nah, girl, whether it's fighting, whatever that's going to happen, you are going to come in here and you are going to earn your peach and work for this storyline. I am no longer just giving it to people. So, yep, I upgraded my hotel room. The end. You're looking for me to blow up on you, argue with you, call you names. So next thing you have 2 or 3 more episodes of Kenya versus Drew. I'm not giving you that. I upgraded my room. I will text you my room number. Anything else? Next. I love that. So of course Drew have to go somewhere else to look for a storyline. Oh, my daughter christening. The Prophet is no longer available. Find you a new one, like Cynthia Bailey said. For you to claim that you are a woman of God, you are not behaving like one. Making false accusations, all of these things you're doing, for the man to come on phone and be like, they're all lies. I was engaged 3 years ago. Like, you are blaming an engagement that ended 3 years ago on LaToya. It's just, it reeks of desperation. It was just all over the place. Lauren, Portia Williams' sister, did not invite Kenya Moore to an event because they thought she was going to come to the event and say the wrong thing and ruin it. This was so important, and it's Black Lives Matter and Black people and Black-owned businesses and uplift Black women. But Drew made a mess out of herself, and Portia loved every second. if that was Kenya Moore coming to a pop-up shop for Black-owned businesses, understanding Cynthia Bailey's mission and the reason why this was important to her, Twitter would have blown up. There goes Kenya Moore again, messing up an important moment, and she would have been dragged and called every name. Now, don't get me wrong now. Drew was dragged on social media so bad to the point where I'm not even doing a separate videos because it's not going to be interesting, because most of the comments were just terrible, and you all already know how I roll. I don't be on here cursing and all of that. So if I can't really read the comments, then what's the point of posting it? If I'm here for the fun shade, but not the below the belt, shade. So if I can't read the below the belt stuff, then why even do a video? But just trust and believe that Drew got dragged so bad to the point where people were like, take away her peach. How do you go from being someone we love to someone we don't care for? People like, she doesn't need to come back. I mean, people switching and now saying that they like LaToya. It has been a complete switch. At Candy and Todd restaurant tasting, Kenya did say that Mark was in town. So it's possible. And then we saw later on in the scene, Brooklyn and Mark having a great time, smiling and all of that. And I'm going to get to the scene where she's reading the text messages and all of that about counseling. So it made sense that she sent someone to represent her business, but she was probably out there planning the party or, having a moment in time with her family. So it made sense that she wasn't at the pop-up. Marlo going and purchasing more edges and talking about, Kenya dragging her for her edges. That moment was funny. I always love it when they can just laugh at themselves and just have fun. And of course, we can't forget the iconic Kenya Moore hair care. So I love that moment. Marlo went over, supported Portia business, did not want the discount card. Love that moment as well. Drew just doing too much. LaToya explained that, she and her assistant were just trying to get things perfectly. But then, time, they ran out of time and she got there late. And Cynthia had to give her table away to somebody else. I mean, girl, we're here to support Black-owned businesses. We have an entire table for you. You are not here and there's someone who needs a table and an opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and give it to them. So I completely understand that. And allegedly, the person who Shemia got the information from about Marlo getting lipo and all of that was at the pop-up shop. And this whole thing happened between Shemia, Marlo, Portia. But once again, Bravo did not show it. Why? My point, okay? If Portia Williams is really changed and she is this person that she's trying to prove so hard on TV, then why are you making mistakes and then having scenes deleted? It is okay for people to see your process and your progress and to see you have weak moments where it's like, you know what? I shouldn't have done A, B, and C in that moment. I did it. Let's move on. Because this whole uplift Black women and Black Lives Matter and all of this movement that you're a part of, okay? But you were okay with Bravo deleting your scenes that made you look bad allegedly, but you were perfectly fine with them leaving the scenes of Kenya Moore questioning your activism, even though you knew the reason why she was questioning your motive was based on what you did. When it comes to Candy and that whole Instagram live, go ahead to the Real Housewives of Atlanta playlist to watch the video I did on Portia Instagram live and all of that, okay? Then you were okay after you found out that your sister did not invite Kenya Moore to the event honoring you. Someone who's changed would have said, look, yes, Kenya have questions and all of that. However, If we're working on moving on and it's a sisterhood, and all of that, then Kenya should have been invited, because there's been events on this show where people might not like each other, but they were all still invited. That's another thing that shows that you haven't grown and you're still for the mess, because yet you excluded a black woman from an important moment. Yes, let's go ahead and fall for her. She didn't know and her sister threw a surprise. Whatever. Don't believe that. If Bravo can wipe out entire scenes, an entire episode for Portia, hell, I don't believe anything else has happened this season when it comes to Portia scenes, because it's not fair. Then you're doing a pop-up shop to uplift, but you're okay with Drew coming to that pop-up shop and being messy. If this was Kenya Moore, Portia's reaction would have been, I can't believe once again, here's Kenya bringing drama, okay, to an event, uplifting and showcasing and supporting black businesses. What is wrong with her? That would have been Portia's reaction. She would have gone into full, I'm an activist mode. No. When you are something 24/7. It's not a switch. Let me turn it on when it's convenient for me. Then this whole, let's go ahead and bring the person who allegedly spilled the tea about Milo Lipo at the black-owned businesses event. So then what does that tell you? That's the reason why people are questioning what she's doing. Me personally, I don't care. I've said it in countless of videos. Kudos to Portia and Bravo. Even if one person watched what was going on and say, you know what? Because Portia did this and because Bravo did this, I'm going to change the way how I approach certain subjects. I'm going to go out there and protest. I'm going to be more involved. Then kudos to them. They did something and they used their platform. But when you do all of these little things on the side, then of course, people will question you. Black lives can't only matter when you're going against a black woman that you don't like. Then for some reason, the topic is so important, but you're able to basically skip around other people's nonsense because you like them. That's not how it works. You stand in your truth regardless of who it is. So I'm going to repeat this and I'm going to move on. If it was Kenya bringing profits and all of this stuff, it would have been, here we are doing our best to support black-owned businesses, but Kenya Moore wants to come in here and discuss what someone is doing with their body off camera. She would have dragged that to the ground and went on this long speech about people dying and people getting killed. Done everything in her power to make Kenya Moore look like the worst person ever. But because it was Drew, oh, I'm loving this. Oh, this tea right here. That's my point. Your activism can not only matter when that black woman is in the room and you want to capitalize on that moment to paint her in this disgusting way. And that's why her activism is being questioned. It is not believable due to how she pick and choose when she's going to be upset and go on this whole speech and all of that. But anyways, let's move on. I'm glad that people are exposing themselves. You see, normally people come on here and they love to hide behind whatever drama they have created with Kenya Moore. They use Kenya all the time, and because there's this hate train going around when it comes to Kenya Moore, so of course people fall for it, but not anymore. People are, no pun intended, but people are calling them out, and you all have seen me and heard me read the comments and all of that. Social media, they're no longer playing when it comes to the let's blame Kenya for everything. Nope, they're letting these girls have it. But I'm glad that she's showing her true colors and that she is just messy and how she's just a hypocrite. Drew was able to expose herself on her own. People don't like her anymore. She's getting dragged all over social media. And yeah, she could no longer hide behind Kenya. She exposed herself. And that's that. And I want you all to remember this entire season that most of the times people almost came to blows and it was drama and messy. Kenya wasn't even in the room. And also back to the prophet situation. For Drew to continue to just skip this grown man, if anything happened between him and Toya, grown man, and just blame LaToya for everything. Like, what? Oh, you're preying on the prophet and you're doing this. Like, it's a grown man. Like, she put a gun to his head and tied him down. Girl, what? She just made a fool out of herself. I love seeing that Billy was like, girl, just find someone else. I mean, what's the big deal? Find someone else. But hey, Drew's trying to get her storyline. I love the conversation between Kenya and Cynthia talking about her breast reduction. We saw Kenya talking to the doctor and Cynthia saying, are we going to have a titty party, a titty reveal party? Now, we all remember that scene, titties, when Cynthia was going to, it wasn't a breast reduction. She was getting her implants removed and replaced or, updated because it'd been 10 plus years. That scene was cute, but I love that. Of course, Kenya inviting the girls over again. And of course, here we go. The no food. Malo, of course, was very impressed. It was the first time being at Moore Manor. Kenya house, beautiful, just always clean and all of that. Malo comment about getting the EBT was funny. Basically, not EBT, not the food stamp card, but the fact that she was, throwing fun shade at Kenya. But girl, why every time, at least have some fruits or something outside is a gathering. We don't know what happened before the event and why food wasn't there this time. But regardless, Malo took matters in her hands, ordered pizza, ordered them some food and all of that. And sometimes, yes, the food is great. Eat on camera, all of that. But sometimes when these girls are filming, just have a cocktail, have something light and you're there to have a conversation and not your mouth filled with food. Sometimes it just doesn't look proper on camera. I'm not making excuses for Kenya not having food. I just love that Malo took matters in her own hands and ordered some food, okay? And then, of course, LaToya calling the prophet and the prophet confirming that he was engaged 3 years ago. And if he was 3 years ago, LaToya just met him, so she didn't do anything. Basically, Drew and her family intentionally not calling him back and creating their own little mess and story in their head just so she could have a problem and issue with LaToya. It's just, my goodness. Okay, she shaded your wig. I get it. This is the part that I be talking about, these girls. And you can tell who Drew friends are. Yes, she's cool with Cynthia Bailey, but you can tell the other group that she's hanging with. Like, I understand she dished your wig. I talked about it. It wasn't cool and all of that. It's a wig, fun shade, whatever, right? But when it start going from big jokes to I want to assassinate a character and you are breaking up people homes, like, ooh, girl, it is not that deep. You are going too far now, but you can see who she hangs with. So there you go. When LaToya was like, Drew needs to find a relationship with a treadmill, I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. I'm not here for the body shaming, but when you continue to body shame people and all of that, then it becomes fair game. You know, the same way how I talked about Drew constantly coming for Kenya Moore, body and her butt, all of the things she's been saying about Kenya, and Kenya been ignoring her, but Kenya finally responding is, I have health issues, girl. You should have thought about that before coming for other people's body. You can't talk about other people and then when they retaliate, now it's a problem. Like, girl, bye, sit down. The nieces or whatever they call themselves, yeah, claim Kenya Moore is the dark cloud. That group, when I tell you social media just went crazy in a happy way, the comments were nothing but just amazing comments. What a breath of fresh air. I mean, laughter, great conversation. I want to see this group again. It was nothing but love, and people were just happy and positivity. And even when Drew was brought up, LaToya was simply trying to clear her name. Candy talked to the prophet. Milo comments about his Gucci scarf and whatever. Those were hilarious and cute. Cynthia Bailey, it was just a cute moment. Cynthia talking about I might live on a lake, but I don't know what a board is. And LaToya jumping on Cynthia, trying to show her what it was. I just thought the conversation, just everything was great. And, Cynthia asking Kenya inappropriate questions about what she did with her husband. It was just all around an amazing conversation, drama-free conversation. I love it. And even when things could have gone left, they made sure they cut it where they were just laughing and having a great time. And that scene was everything. I'm like, okay, bravo. Wow, bravo. Like, okay. We got to see. I mean, that's the balance I'm talking about. That's the balance I've been talking about for weeks. What have I been saying for weeks? When I talk about overkill, when I said you say a joke the first time and it's funny, the second time, we laugh, but the third, fourth, fifth time, it's like, we get it. We are over it. And that's what I've been saying. So I'm glad that even though Milo slipped up a little bit and said, I'm just going to be quiet about the whole Bolo situation, it was nice to have a refreshing episode where they were not dragging this Bolo situation in the ground, but then turning around and blaming Kenya when it's other people since they left South Carolina who keeps bringing it up. It's almost like Kenya left it at that dinner table in South Carolina. But of course, I'm going to charm in if you bring it up and my name is involved. But for the most part, she stopped talking about it. So it was nice to have an episode where it wasn't about Bolo, but Drew, you just embarrassed yourself, girl. Yeah, and it was like a decent episode. I will be back with my review of the finale. Thank you all for your patience and take care. The end of here, my final loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.